What is up, my YouTube nerds? It's your coding bro Mondo Man Codes here, bringing you another video in our programming in Kotlin series. In this video I'll be going over if statements. For those that have watched my C++ if statements tutorial, the structure should look relatively familiar. Let's begin by opening up IntelliJ. Right? We'll create a new project. Make sure it's on Java and select the Kotlin/JVM. Hit next. Project name. Let's just do second tutorial. Just keep it nice and simple. Alright, wait for it to load down here. I can just do that later. Shouldn't be an issue with our tutorial here. So we go to source, we hit new, Kotlin file, just call it main function. Now let's just call it main file, just keep it nice and easy. So like last time, we do fun main to create our main function that the compiler would run. Alright, so if statements in Kotlin's relatively the same. We do if condition equals true, right? Then run this code. Else run this other code, right? Nice and simple. So let's do some examples so you can get a feel for it. Alright, let's do var x. Let's make x an int of, let's do 12. I'll just put this here. My apologies, guys. Still working around with the settings, so this should be a lot better to see visually. So let's do var x integer equals 12. Now let's do if x is less than 10, right? Print line, or print if you just want it to be all on one line, but let's do print line for now. X is less than 10, else another print line, x is greater than 10. Alright, save it and then just click on this green start button and we'll just run it. We'll wait for it to run and all that jazz. Alright, and since we set x to be 12, if x is less than 10, that statement's false, so it skips this, goes down to the else statement, and since it's greater than 10, it just prints this. Alright, and as we can see, x is greater than 10. Alright, we can minimize that. So we got if else, do that. We have if else, which is pretty much like if this statement's true, then disregard all the other ones. If this statement's false, check this other if statement. That if statement's false, then just print out the else statement. So we can modify our code here real quick. So let's do if else if x is less than 20. Else print line x is greater. Oh, yeah, got a little confused there, so we save, and then we're just gonna run it again. Then we'll wait for it to load. Yep. As you can see, x is still 12. We haven't changed that. X is greater than 10, so it skips this first if statement. It checks the second if statement. Is x, less than 20? Yes. Then it prints that out, then just skips this else statement. What we could do besides that is just have another if statement. So it's 2 if statements. So we'll run that. Right, x is less than 20. The reason we would want to do 2 if statements is just like, let's say x is 8. If x is less than 10, which that would be true, and then let's do if x is greater than 6, right? With this, it'll check this, and it's true, and then it'll check the second if statement. That's also true, so it'd print both statements, x is less than 10 and x is greater than 6. As we'll see here. Yep, x is less than 10, x is greater than 6. Which you could use this for like your programs. Let's say the computer generates a random number and the user has to guess which number the computer picked. So we can always like have it be, oh, it's less than 10 and it's greater than 6, right? So the user can like slowly narrow down what number the computer picked. Alright, one final one I want to show you guys. Right here. If side an if, and then an else, right? So if x is less than 10, x is less than 5, else right, and we'll just keep this the same. Let's change this to change it to a 7. Just keep it different examples and whatnot. Alright, we'll run that. Yep, so is x less than 10? That's true, so it prints this it prints that statement out, and then it goes down here and it checks, is x less than 5? That's incorrect, so it doesn't even look at that statement there. So it goes down to the else statement, then it prints out the print line. Right? Just to clarify, you can have any number of if statements. You don't need an else statement, but you need an if statement to write an else statement. Just to show you guys. So if you only have an else statement, it's expecting an element, right? So it's expecting an if statement. So expecting, if. So x equals 7. Oh, my bad. Right, so if x is 7, print x is 7, else print line x is greater than 20. Which that will no longer be correct, so you just got to keep on updating your if else's according to what you're wanting it to print or state. Ooh, not mean to do that. Apologize. Save. Go up here, run. Yep, x is 7. Which we can later on do, let's say, x equals x times 7, right? It's giving us this here. Is it wanting this? Yes. Okay. So what this is, what that means, it's just saying x equals itself multiplied by 7, right? Which you can do the same thing for plus, just have this as a plus, as a minus for minus, divide for divide, and whatever number you want on the right hand side. So we'll do this, right? If x equals 49, print line, right? Save, and then we'll run it. Oh, did I? Must have deleted that. My apologies. Yep. So you see our first if statement is x7. Yes. So it just does x equals x times 7. It doesn't even take the other else statement into account. And then it checks if x is 49, which it should be. Thus it prints out x is 49. And it's pretty much the same structure if you've seen my C++ videos. So you have your if statement, your condition, and then whatever code you want it to run if that condition is true, right? That pretty much wraps up this video. Next time I'll go over for loops, and I'll do step-by-step guide on creating a basic program using for loops, or 2 for loops, so a for loop inside a for loop. As always, if you found this content enjoyable or informative, don't be afraid to hit like or subscribe. It really helps out. This is me signing off, and remember, stay nerdy, guys. Bye.